this right here, digging through my skin, digging through my muscle, make me think about going through deep in that muscle memory where things like I felt broken at, things where I feel like I'm crazy if I was to let people know. You know, once you finally bring your shadow side and you go through the work of the shadow side, it makes your life not easy, but it's way more easy to compromise with it, you know? So for me, this song to me made me feel like I was changing my DNA, RNA, all of that in order to get to the 48, because 23 times 2 is 46, but 46 and 2 will be 48. Just this first one, it makes me think of like your regular life, right? Boom, you're so beautiful, like, you mean. The second one gives me like all of these bad things that you're trying to hide, you're trying to suppress it, but it could come up at any moment. It could just, I mean, you could just boil over at any moment. It could come out. The last one, to me, it makes me feel like you've learned how to you learned your spiritual, not your spiritual side, but your light side and your dark side. You put them together and now you're becoming your higher self. But we need everybody to be on the same page, you know? Not just a couple of us can ascend to the 5th dimension. We need everybody to. Nobody wants to get trapped here on Earth. This is all about welcoming the shadow side to bring on the light. Without us fucking doing the shadow work, you can't go to the next dimension. It's just the rules. It's just the rules. Like, I wish I could change it for a lot of people, but they just won't understand. They're connected to a single consciousness that moves through all of them. These are, I don't know how to say that in Australia, there might be a few African tribes left like this. Then there is our level of compromising. What the fuck, bro? Hold on, it's compromising 44 plus 2 chromosomes are disharmonic level of consciousness that is used as a stepping stone from the 42 plus 2 level to the next level, 46 plus 2. So that's just a regular, that's how everybody is, 42 and 2. The next level of life, the next dimension is 46 and 2. If that make any sense to y'all. These 2 additional chromosomes change everything about our DNA and our RNA. It changes everything. Shadow shedding skin. I've been picking scabs again. You picking at the old stuff that used to go through, the old you know, you digging through it. So you digging through your skin. You digging through your skin and you get into your old self again. The more you keep digging, the more you end up to your old self that you didn't even get to know. Your shadow side, that dark side of you, you have to compromise with that. It has to be on the same level in order for you to ascend to the next dimension. Without that, you can't get the 46 and 2. I'm down digging through my old muscles looking for a clue. I'm looking for a clue. I'm looking for what's the reason why I felt like, should I try to change? Should I bring the old self back to reality? Or should I just be me? Or should I just be the bad person I am, and just leave it like that? You have to put them on the same page. We all are like this. We all have negative times. We all have positive times. We have to be able to be on the same exact level. You feel me? Let's keep going. I've been crawling on my belly, clearing out what could have been. Clearing out my belly to me is like getting out all of the fucking shit that you wanted to get out, but you couldn't ever get out. So you crawling, clearing out what could have been this entire time. You get stuck in your own mind. You get stuck in this fake false reality that they try to give us. For a piece to cross me over or a word to guide me in. So that's like inward, like going from inside and then your outside, you know, because everybody can change the outside appearance, but it's all about the inner. You have to change the inside, you know. And if somebody's always looking for that guide, they're looking for numerology stuff around signal signs that can tell them like, yo, you're crossing over, you're getting closer to the light. I want to feel the changes coming down in my shadow. You feel the change in your shadow side. You know, you actually going through the work. You're not just sweeping it under the rug like I was saying, or just leaving it out behind you and just hopefully that it don't come up. That's where I get the part where digging through and scraping through my scabs. I'm looking for the old rock. I'm looking for ChillROC. I'm not looking for ChillROC. I'm looking for ChillROC. Change is coming through my shadow. My shadow is setting skin. I've been picking my scabs again. Human being deals with the reality of shadows in 4 ways. So we have 4 different ways that we go through shadow phases. Denial, projection, whatever that is, and transmutation. Join in my child. My shadow moves closer to meaning. Join in my child. My shadow moves closer to meaning. Closer to meaning. Contemplating what I've been clinging to. You've been clinging to your old self for a very long time. So you're going to see yourself most likely digging through your old self. 6 and 2 ahead of me. It's like evolving of the spirit. Evolving from the inside out. You will see your life project and be beautiful as you see it in the inside, because everything that's around us, this material world, is just an illusion to keep us in a state of mind where we can never grow to be our higher self. I choose to live and to grow. So I choose this life to live, and I choose to grow as a spiritual being and as also a human. Learn and love and to cry. Kill and die and to be. We going through this human life, so it's like, boom, you're killing the old and it's dying off so you can be something better than what your shadow side is. Hate and fear and to do. Hate and fear go hand in hand with anything, and that's another thing that our shadow projects off into the virtual world. And people can always smell hate. They can always smell fear. The body language, just the way you move, I can tell if you a snake or not. Kill and give and to die. What it takes to step through. There are 3 total different kinds of humans on Earth, meaning that they'll perceive the one reality in 3 different ways, interpret it differently. Right here, you see the gray side is more of the shadow side, and then you see the regular human. He probably just wanted to get that out of the way. You know, he don't want nobody to see that. He wants you to just see his good side. The shadow side and the light side is one. These look like Tool songs. New Family. Dying. White Light. Shadow side, you gotta do the shadow work. Gotta get rid of the ego. It's a lot. 1, then you have a new family. Because you get older, you grow, you have your own family. They all become spiritually enlightened. Then it's dying. Then you leave from this universe to go to the 5th dimension or the next dimension that you ascend to. Self. Unconsciousness. Unconscious. Right? So that's like maybe our moms, our grandparents, our kids, stuff like that. Friends, stuff like all that. Anema. I got into a big ass car accident. My homie totaled my whole car, caught on fire and everything. I drove it home while the hood of the car was sticking up and I couldn't see. I had to look outside the window and drive all the way home, right? That broke me down from being that masculine person to now I'm a little more feminine. I realized I have to have a masculine and feminine side, you know, in order to get to the next level. A shadow work. Shadow work. Hardest thing ever. Had to put everything out there, my truth. Anything that I've been through, I always told people, especially my subscribers, I always let them know I've been through a lot of shit in life, but I'm not about to sit here and look like the victim, because I can get out of my situation. I just waited this long to get out of my situation. In 2017, I went through most of this shit right here, you know? My shadow was a fucking, like, I wanted to be an asshole. I was stuck into my ego. My shadow side was like mean, bro. I wouldn't wake up and say good morning to nobody. I wouldn't say hi. I wouldn't hit nobody up. My shadow side was like a grumpy, lazy motherfucker that don't want to get off his ass. My ego. Now, this is when football, basketball, everything came into play. I got more egotistic as I went on with sports, because sports, you gotta be one of the best players. You gotta be the #1 guy. And when you get that way, you get stuff. You get sports privilege is what I like to call it. It's more of a sports privilege. Since I'm good, I was getting able to pass my classes, do all this shit. I was stuck in my ego. I thought I was just a man. And anytime I was around other guys, I let that be known that I was the man in the house. You mean? I was letting people know I'm the big dog. But I let go of all that. Once I let my ego go, I started doing YouTube. I didn't give a fuck what nobody said. My ego was what I was living off of. The ego was one of the most hardest things to do. That's why it's small and red. That is one of those most hardest things to do. And once you do that, you get to the persona. You become your own person. You become what people see. Basically, someone's character, the person that they became from all of this. And then you get to the consciousness, then you realize life is bigger than this reality that we're living. Life, you have to go from the inside in order to make sure your life outside it represents what you have going on in the inside. If you don't have that going on, you don't have shit going on with life. Life tries to drain you. It makes you forget about your dreams, your aspirations, the person that you want to be. 9 times out of 10, things that people watch on TV, their favorite comedians, their favorite actors, their favorite athletes, they are a mirror of those people, because that is exactly who they want to be. Stop watching TV. Stop watching the news. Stop listening to other people, outside people telling you what to do, because when they're not around, you have to go with that internally. Then you have to break down that shadow side and realize this is who I am. I don't want to be this way, but it's the way I have to be. Then you start raising conscience, then you start teaching people, you start developing more stuff, and you start letting other people know how you feel about certain situations, and people realize like, oh, this dude is, well, he's a conscious dude, you know? Then you start to grow, and it's all about helping and learning. Each one teach one. You want to let everybody else know what to do so they can get out of it. You don't force this on nobody. If nobody's ready for it, you don't force it onto people. But I can't just straight tell them listen to 46 and 2, because they're not going to understand it. They're going to be like, man, that's anything, man. I don't believe in this religion. All of this stuff was built so that we follow a mystery guy that's supposed to be in the sky. We're following a mystery person. They got us on the right path. They got us in being Christian. They got us Catholic. They got Muslims, Buddhism, whatever, right? And that's all to divide us from they divide us from religion. They divide us with race. They divide us with anything that they could possibly do. Now they're doing it with gender. They're doing it with gender. But listen, man, I don't want to take up all your time, man. So that's what I think of this song. Drop down in the comment section and let me know if y'all have a different opinion on anything that I touched up on. If I missed anything, let me know, man. First time checking out the lyric video. 46 and 2, we all on our way there. Y'all gotta wake the fuck up before it's too late. Listen, man.